There's a lot of mystery surrounding what makes a great melody. It seems there's no real formula, and yet we all recognize a good hook when we hear it. When the right lyric matches up with a good melody and the perfect chord change, it seems like pure magic. And although there's no exact science to it, there are a few principles we can follow to make the process easier. Let's take the notes of a major scale. I'll be referring to these as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. A singer might often refer to them as do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. If your chord progression is all within key, then any of these notes are fair game, but it's helpful to know how each chord is constructed. Any triad is made up of the root, third, and fifth. A C major chord is made up of C, E, and G. Those notes will always sound stable over top of that chord. You can also use the 2nd, 4th, 6th, and 7th scale degrees. They'll sound great, but they will offer a certain amount of tension. For instance, a D note over a C major chord wants to go down to a C. Or an F note over a C chord wants to go down to the E. Check out the attached PDF for a complete list of triad notes. Notes outside of the scale can sound great as well when properly employed. Flatting the 3rd, 5th, or 7th note in the right spot can lead to a soulful or bluesy sound. For instance, if I had a melody that went like this. If I flat that 3rd note of the scale, it sounds a little more bluesy. These are often referred to as blue notes. Other notes outside the scale should be used sparingly if you are sticking to chords within the key. However, they can be very effective when used as passing tones or approach tones. For instance, if I start right below my A note, it makes my melody a little more interesting. Tension and resolve is what great music is all about. If you can create a melody that builds expectations and either it delivers on them or surprises the listener, then you're on the right track. On a side note, if you're the one singing this song, you're going to want to explore your own vocal range. Most people can sing at least an octave, so you might want to experiment with different keys to see which one your voice sits most comfortably with. Guitar players can easily do this with a capo. When it comes time to write your melody, you might want to sit down with your guitar and try to sing along with the scale. Maybe sit down with the piano and try to sing along. Another helpful thing is to record yourself playing the chord progression and just try to sing over top of it. There are endless variations in melodic choices a songwriter has. You can stay within just a few notes or sing giant intervallic leaps if your range allows for it. You can create a phrase or pattern of notes that repeats over changing chords, or build a linear path towards a satisfying crescendo. One technique to try out is try contrasting a busy melody over a static chord progression. Maybe something like this. I just stayed on one chord. Or vice versa, try long-held notes over quickly changing chords. Maybe it'd work well to try one method during the verse and another during the chorus. For this reason, I keep a notebook of words and phrases that I like the sound of. We'll discuss more of that in the next video concerning lyrics. Here's an update on the chord progression I was working on in the previous video, and the melody I have so far. The chords were C, F, A minor, and G, and the melody I have in mind is something like this. Over the verse might sound something like this. For the chorus, I had an E minor, an A, D minor, and a G. I was thinking of starting on the B over the E minor. notice I'm playing around with repeated phrases. That might evolve as I spend more time with it, but that's what I have so far. So today's challenge is to try to create a melody over the verse and a melody over the chorus. I think it'd be a good idea to try to have a little contrast between the two.